I remember the day she said it. We were sitting in the living room, a space that used to feel like home, like a sanctuary where we could just be ourselves. But that day, it felt different. She looked at me, her gaze distant, almost rehearsed, and with a deep breath, she said, "I think we should open our marriage." At first, I thought I'd misheard her. I blinked a few times, waiting for her to laugh, waiting for her to say she was joking. But the look in her eyes said it all. She wasn't joking. She wasn't asking. She was telling me. I asked her why, trying to sound calm, but my voice betrayed me. "Why would you want that?" I could barely get the words out. We'd been together for years, built a life together, and now she was asking for something that seemed so alien, so out of place in the life we'd created. Her answer hit me harder than I expected. "I need more freedom," she said, almost as if it was the most natural thing in the world. "I love you, but I feel like there's something missing. I want to explore, to experience life in a different way. And I think you do too." The words felt like a slap in the face. I didn't know how to respond. I couldn't fathom what she was asking me to accept. We had built this life together, this routine, this partnership, and now she wanted to shatter it for some kind of experiment, some exploration of her desires. At first I was numb. I didn't know how to react. All I could think was, is this the end? Is she telling me she doesn't want me anymore? That all we've shared, all the years, the love, the connection, it meant nothing to her. But there was something else too, something deeper. A part of me, a part I didn't want to admit, felt intrigued. I was angry, confused, hurt, but a small part of me wondered what it would feel like to live in that kind of freedom, to break free from the constraints of commitment, of marriage. So I told her, if that's what you really want, then okay. I don't know what came over me. Maybe it was my pride. Maybe it was the idea of reclaiming control, of taking back what I felt was mine. Maybe it was just the shock of the moment, the disbelief that led me to agree. But I agreed, and I regretted it almost immediately. She didn't waste any time. In the days that followed, she went out with other men, went on dates, and I sat there, pretending it didn't bother me. I told myself, this is what she wants. This is what she needs. But every time she came home smelling of someone else's cologne, smiling too brightly, talking about her latest adventures, it felt like a knife in my chest. And then I realized something. If she could have this freedom, then I could too. I didn't have to sit here like some wounded animal. I could take control of my own life, my own desires. If she was allowed to explore, then I would too. It started with one woman. I met her through a friend. She was different, exciting, and for the first time in months, I felt alive again. Her laughter, her touch, it was everything I'd been craving. She didn't care about my marriage, didn't care about the hurt I was feeling. She was there for one reason, and one reason only, to remind me that I wasn't invisible, that I wasn't just a man stuck in a loveless marriage. I told myself it was just a fling, a one-time thing, but that was a lie. The more I met these women, the more I realized how good it felt to be wanted, to be desired, to be seen in a way I hadn't been in years. Each new woman brought something different. Some brought excitement, some brought passion, some simply brought the relief of not being alone. But with each new experience, I felt myself slipping further and further away from my wife. She was no longer the center of my world. The bond we had once shared, built on trust, love, and commitment, was eroding piece by piece. As I found solace in the arms of these other women, I kept telling myself that this was what I deserved, that I was just getting back at her for what she had done to our marriage. But the truth was, I wasn't getting back at her at all. I was just losing myself. I met 10 women. Each one brought something new. Some I kept seeing. Others were one-time flings. But no matter how many times I told myself this was just part of the process, part of what my wife had given me permission to do, I felt emptier. I wasn't happy. I wasn't free. I was just trying to fill a void that had been left by someone I loved, someone I had hoped would understand me, someone I thought I could trust. Weeks passed. The guilt began to eat away at me. I could feel my marriage slipping further and further out of reach, and no amount of attention from other women could fix it. I had given in to the freedom she wanted, but in doing so, I had lost something far more precious. One night, after a date with the latest woman, I came home to find my wife waiting for me. She was sitting on the couch, her face pale, eyes red from crying. I had no idea how to face her. "I know," she said softly, her voice cracking. "I know what you've been doing." I saw your messages, the pictures, the notes. I know about every single one of them. I couldn't speak. The weight of her words hit me like a ton of bricks. She had known. She had always known. And in that moment, I realized something. My wife didn't want an open marriage. She wanted a reason to leave me. The guilt flooded in. The weight of my choices, of my actions, crushed me. This wasn't freedom. This was a slow descent into emptiness. We sat there in silence for what felt like hours. Finally, she stood up, her face blank. "I don't think we can fix this," she said, her voice barely above a whisper. "You wanted freedom, but all you've done is destroy us." I wanted to argue, to explain, but the truth was, she was right. I had destroyed us. I had let my desire for something more, for something different, cloud my judgment. And in doing so, I had lost everything that truly mattered. That night, we both realized that what we wanted wasn't freedom. It was something far deeper, something we had lost when we allowed our marriage to become an experiment. And as she walked away, I couldn't help but think that maybe, just maybe, I had been the one who needed to be free. Free from the lies, free from the empty freedom that had led me to this point. But by then, it was too late.